Hey, welcome back to another episode of Real Men Unscripted. I'm Derek.
I'm Domingo. Welcome back.
And I'm Ethan, his kid's son.
Yep. And as you guys can see, we have a guest today. We have my youngest son with us, Ethan Lucero. So he'll be joining us for the next 2 episodes. Welcome, EJ.
And he looks he looks really tall right now. Like
I got some good genes.
yeah, he's got his shoulders back. My wife would be impressed of how how you're sitting.
When we had Kevin here, he was wide, and now we got the tall one.
Yeah,
He was the glove. This is the bat.
Hopefully he'll be in the camera. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting up the way you're supposed to, I guess.
So this first episode, and we'll do 2 episodes. We wanted to, living the life of a cop dad.
Okay.
None of my kids will come on probably, but but Kevin gave some good stuff on being raised, and he already said that you had it easy. So we'll get your side of it, but of course I
confirmed it that he had it easy.
He said he had it hard. So if you want, just start out by telling us what you do now, and then we'll get into some questions.
Yeah. So obviously, like my pop said, name's Ethan. I was born and raised here. I'm now Clark County firefighter for going on about a year now. Just
Nice.
like my brother, played sports growing up. This guy always had me doing something, always active, and kind of try to follow in his footsteps a little bit. Helping people out, public service. It's a good gig. I'm happy with it.
So you chose fire. Did you ever want to do police, or was he like, you're not doing police?
If you ask maybe me from the age of like 5 to probably like 15, 16, 100% I want to be a cop. And then once I got towards, graduation and everything, being an adult, he kind of told me, this probably isn't the best. I'll support you if you want to do it, but this probably isn't the best route to go. So he kind of got me looking into other avenues, and I landed with EMS and fire, and just kind of never really looked back.
Now, were you ever like in a police explorer or firefighter explorer or anything?
I was never police explorer. I did join the explorer program with my fire department.
Oh, okay.
Kind of out right now, and that's kind of what he got me into. He introduced me to it, and I joined. Helped me out immensely. I was in it for about a year, and then just kind of got to testing and eventually got hired.
So when you say that 5 to 15, when 15 hit, was he like, listen, there's, things did he tell you things had changed, or did you see him as a cop from 5 to 15 and he brought stuff home that you were like, dang, he was never like this, and now he's more frustrated, or he talks, I don't know if I never asked him if he like spoke to you guys about, come home and like at the dinner table tell you, today I had a robbery, I had this, I had that. Like, did he ever
No, I wouldn't say he ever. My dad was always pretty good at keeping the job,
separate?
Separate.
Okay.
Like he was, from what I remember growing up, he was always the same dude. Like my dad never really brought that stuff home. But I think the thing that kind of changed it for me was obviously my dad was saying like it's not what it used to be, right? And you'd see it in the news with all the riots and all that stuff like that. So it's like that's kind of what deterred me from it. Kind of when I grew up a little bit and saw those things. He had me talk to his buddies, and they all
Station 17.
Station 17. Yeah,
Love you guys.
You mean your buddies in the fire, not in the police?
Both.
Oh,
So
okay.
Station 17 was kind of the introduction, and then every time I go around, his station, Southeast, I'd talk to them, and they'd all have the same consensus. Like, dude, don't
I mean,
do
that's
this.
what I do. I've been
don't
for
do this.
probably 10 years telling people to go fire over
Yeah,
police.
every single one of them.
During his football games, a lot of my buddies would show up to their games. Him, his brother, his sister. So he got to see them afterwards because we always took a family picture.
Okay.
So guys like Sergio, what's up, Sergio? Guys like Mark Bardoni, like he always was around them. Like those guys that's more like family, brother. And they're like, yeah, I wouldn't do this. Pick something else, EJ. Pick something else, Ethan.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I mean, in the history of public service, when has people hated the fire department? Never. When do you hear defund the fire department?
Yeah. No, I used to tell people you could arrest someone for arson and he still like you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, you don't see it too much.
Definitely,
So,
definitely black writer on this side.
Yeah. And who gets to work out at a gym during
It's
shift?
awesome. It's awesome.
man, when I worked out at the EOS in Henderson, when I lived over in Henderson, I'd go to the one on by Stephanie. Man, those firefighters in there with their radio working out. And
Hey, are we doing his early life, or are we doing firefighter right
no,
now?
I mean, it was just like, man, all these, eating on. I see them pull in front of Smith's, and they all get out of the fire truck, shopping, So
They go to football games with their kids.
We-
They go
yeah,
shopping at the supermarkets.
It's home away from home. For sure.
yeah. All right, we're getting to get again into that in the second.
That's the
episode.
second
There you go.
episode.
I know. We just.
Can't wait for that one.
Yeah. So being a youngster with this guy, did he really bring home drugs to show you? He told me, or he told
Statute
me
of limitations is over.
in the last one with your brother about bringing it. That was on the podcast, or was that something you told me?
No, that was
privately?
something on Sidebar.
Oh shoot!
It's
Okay,
on now.
Never mind.
I mean, it was impounded.
Yeah.
Didn't keep it. It was timely impounded. So.
To answer that, no, I don't think you ever did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did.
I don't remember.
But he was smaller though. He was.
Hey,
the
he's trying to
youngest.
help you out right here.
Yeah,
No,
he was-
I don't
yeah.
remember anything.
I just brought it
Yeah.
home once. We'll stick with that.
So your brother set the bar high for school,
Mm-hmm.
and then apparently they got laxed with you. But you might not have thought that.
Yeah.
But so just as early as you can remember, how was it just growing up having a cop dad?
Oh man, it was. This guy made me the most popular kid in school for sure. I remember
That can happen.
those career days, man. Like kids, they ate it up. Oh, yeah, like he'd bring, he brought K9 a couple times, the K9 unit. They
Oh,
do
I
demonstration.
remember that, yeah.
He brought his police car. He'd take us around the playground.
In the police car.
Back then, he used to bring everything. Right, you can't really do that anymore. He used to bring his rifles. Everything.
I still
Anything
can't
you could
believe
think
he did
Anything
that,
you could
but
think of, he brought it.
wow.
Yeah, I don't know how he got away with it, but he did, and yeah, it's funny because I think about that now, and not too long ago, maybe a year ago, I ran into someone I was in the same elementary class as her, and she asked how I was, and then immediately after, hey, how's Officer Lucero doing? Miss that guy. I was like, what?
That's
Like,
cool.
That's not me.
So she remembered that it was
Oh, yeah.
stuck, and
Oh yeah. So this guy, yeah, he was the only reason I was popular.
so do you know if you're? I should have asked Kevin the same thing. Do you think anybody in your class, because of your dad doing all those years, like ever became a cop?
Oh, 100%, I think so. Yeah. I hear it all the time. I mean, just the other day I was at Costco, and this lady that was helping me out was like, "Oh, what do you do?" or whatever, making small talk. I was like, "Oh, I'm a firefighter." She's like, "Oh, my son loves firefighters. That's all he talks about." And I think that's pretty cool because I've done, those dog and pony shows where we go out to the schools, and I absolutely think those kids might see a cop car, might see us, spraying some water, having fun, and they go home, and that they carry with them. They carry that with them for the rest of their lives and want to kind of do that sort of thing. So I absolutely think that, he had an impact in that way.
I should have had you bring something for my grandson because I'm going to see, because he wears literally police and fire outfits
Nice.
All day.
all day long, every day. Like,
Well, he does
it's
have
one or
like
the other.
firefighter helmets,
Yeah, we
plastic
have that
ones.
stuff.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
even
But
sell,
you're
like-
leaving though. When are you leaving?
Friday.
Yeah, he doesn't work till Saturday.
Yeah, nah, another time. But yeah,
There you go.
he loves that stuff. And
But
Awesome.
but on that note, like I coached a lot of kids. Remember we talked about before. I coached their basketball, football, baseball, and there's a couple names that pop up because you just found out one of the kids I coached, his brother became a cop. Colton, the other one that told me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He's with HPD.
Yeah. So it was like,
So this was one that got to see you as a cop and as a coach.
yes,
Yeah.
because his brother was on his team. That was his
Okay.
receiver. Oh no, was that Kevin's? No, it was your team. Yeah, so he was the receiver, Logan, on our team. But I would go coach in uniform, like I told you before.
Yeah.
I would lunchtime coaching the kids or playing, while they're playing, coaching them while they're playing. I mean, a real game. So his kid was always with them. Like he didn't really, did he play? Oh, he played a couple years, but we didn't coach him, but we coached his younger brother, and now he's a cop for Henderson.
Now,
so.
did you have a cover on when you were?
Yes.
Yeah, because
blue-
I did the same thing.
blue
I
sweatshirt.
always had to have 2 to 3, usually 2 other coaches besides myself, because especially when I was in detectives, because I would get my pager back then. My
Yeah.
pager would go off, and I'd have to leave on a call. So I'd be already dressed, have everything, but have a jacket over me, and then so
Yeah, no, we had a great squad because the entire time I coached all 3 of them, I never had to leave. They covered for me because I took my lunch, it was only an hour, but a game is an hour. So I would leave, 15, 20 minutes early and then leave 15, 20 minutes after.
Yeah.
But the guys would cover for me, and only
Don't
if,
worry, he didn't steal time.
No, if it was a shooting or something.
Yeah.
But thank God there was nothing like that during my whole entire coaching career.
And did he ever empty his guns in your school parking lot like your brother?
Not my. I was.
It was his school.
It was
Oh, that was.
It was.
It was his
I know
school,
my
but not
brother
his
said
year.
it, but I was in the car with my dad.
Oh, that's right. He was. He was in the
When he was
expedition.
doing it?
I was a little
Yeah, he
guy
was in the
sitting
expedition.
in the
Oh
back
my
for
gosh.
expedition. And
That's
Oh.
true.
I thought it was super weird because in my eyes, my dad's a police, right? That's all I've ever really known him to be.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, the police is talking to him and on the other side of the spectrum. And I don't know any better. Like, I thought this was normal, right? Like, we're in a super nice part of town, and I just, my whole life, this guy's cleaning his guns, no big deal. So I was in the back playing with my toys, and all
I
of a
do
sudden,
remember that.
1 cop car, 2 cop cars, 3 cop cars. We're blocked in. The whole city's watching us. It was,
I could say
That's
I don't
crazy.
think I ever cleaned my gun at home.
I didn't clean it. I
Well-
oiled it.
Well, not even that. Because Tammy did daycare at the house, so I couldn't have.
But see, here's the deal, right? You're working swing shift, right?
Yeah.
So you get home around 2:00, right? And I got to wake up at 5, 6 to get these guys get ready to go to school because my wife would be gone by then. So if it's a late day, I'm getting home at 3, 4. Got to get them ready at 5, 6, 7 because there's 3 of them. And then prepare them and then drop them off at school. Then get home and try and get some sleep. And then it's right back to
But why are you oiling guns?
because we were going to go shoot. It was
I know, but
it was
you
our training day.
shouldn't there already been oil in it? I don't know.
No.
No. Okay.
Well,
I never oil
they,
mine,
They are
so.
oil, but me and him just went shooting. I like to re-oil them before too, because I don't need a stovepipe. I don't need a double feed. So that's all that happened. I was kind of late, waking up, didn't have time to oil them before I pick them up, because then from there they would go to Grandma's house, which is just down the hill from the range. She actually got a bullet hole in her side door from the range.
All right. So how was Grandma's house?
I can't say that I really went over there all that often. Obviously, I did,
Mostly
but it
Kevin.
was mostly
Yeah.
my brother and my sister who come. That's why I don't speak Spanish.
You don't speak none?
They,
Little words
the
here and
other
there.
the other 2 do because they kind of grew up around
Yeah.
my grandma and she doesn't
And
speak
grandpa.
any English. So I never really spent that much time with them.
And you didn't try to learn Spanish at all,
Just,
knowing that it would help
I
you
took
in your
Spanish
job?
classes in high school, but,
Dude, I made him take Spanish in middle school so he can go to Europe.
Yeah.
And he went twice. And then I made him take Spanish in Coronado High School.
But it's for me, it's one of those things, if you don't use it, you lose it. I don't know.
I think
see-
I've gotten better now, especially with occupational Spanish. I'm getting pretty good.
So
at
you
just,
you know
some
some
people.
stuff when you're
Yeah,
working
100%.
to.
I could get by talking to people just fine, but I mean before nothing, absolutely nothing. I can't think of a time where I just had a normal conversation with anybody who spoke Spanish.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't be able to do that either. I knew Manos Arriba and stuff like that. Licencia.
He knows the words, but I think he's more.
Are you legal? No, I'm
I
kidding.
think he's more embarrassed to say them. because he thinks he's not gonna sound
That's it.
Mexican.
Yeah. Hey, my older son, now that he's married to someone that speaks, fluent Spanish as well, he's picked up a lot more. But he his mom kind of quit talking, and I sure wasn't going to teach him, but his grandma spoke both. So, but yeah, I wish he had learned.
And you also got to understand, this was the baby of the family at the time.
Yeah.
Grandma and grandpa took care of him. They never yelled at him while they're screaming and yelling at Kevin, Heaven, and all the other cousins. This kid even broke one of his cousins. What was it? Nintendo Xbox. Brand new.
On purpose, or
No, he's a little kid.
I was running around the corner. Well, I was very little, so I don't really remember. So
He was under 5.
this is from third party.
Okay.
Third-party information. So I was rounding the corner, and my grandma had a big old TV right next to the front door, facing this way. So I was running, sprinting, and the Xbox for some reason was standing up right here, right next to where the hallway ends, and I kicked it. I kicked the hell out of that thing. I punted it. It broke. They were not happy with it.
And none of the cousins will forever forget that because they weren't gonna get a new one.
But you bought a new one, right?
No, I didn't know.
You break it, you pay for it.
I didn't know. They kept it all because grandma's like that. She kept it all hush hush, and I didn't know about
She
it.
didn't rat on him?
Yeah, and he's the baby, so she wasn't gonna rat on him thinking that me and his mom were gonna spank him or something, which we wouldn't know. But yeah, they never told us anything until later that Kevin started saying, he broke the Xbox, you guys didn't do anything. What Xbox? He broke what? Yeah, we had no idea.
So did he ever, did you have ever a time where like he spanked you or whatever and you're like, I'm calling CPS or anything like that?
I don't think I ever got beaten that bad. I might have gotten yelled at, but I
You
don't
didn't
think
get no beatings.
I never got like spanked.
I love it when they try to
definitely
claim.
got
Here, let
yelled
me
at.
dial the phone for you. So, and then you played sports growing up?
Yep.
And what are some of the sports that you played?
I played football, baseball, basketball ever since I was a
Which
little kid.
was your favorite?
My favorite was football, for sure. That was a mistake. I had the body and the skill set of a baseball player, for sure. And this guy always told me I just never wanted to listen to him because he's my dad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you kind of like, did you play all of them like all the way to you graduate, or did you drop off on some of them as you got older?
So I think the first one to go was basketball. Never really. It was alright. It was fun every now and then, but it wasn't like the sport I wanted to pick up and just run with. Football was the most consistent. I never really took any breaks, so I played that all the way up until I graduated high school. And then baseball was a little weird. Like I played t-ball or whatever, and kind of stopped to focus on football. And then I picked it up for a couple seasons, and then after I graduated, I started playing like Sunday league baseball.
Oh, okay.
With his uncle.
Yeah, with my uncle.
Oh, okay. And what position were you in football?
I played quarterback.
So you both were quarterback?
Uh huh. I played quarterback up until
all three?
probably my junior year of high school. And then I
Wow.
played a little receiver and corner.
And you went to Coronado as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep, graduated from Coronado.
Man, so did you have like, when you first got there, were there the coaches that like knew your brother and was like, oh, and kind of
Oh, no, it was a
pitted
whole-
you guys, or because
whole
he's
different
just
staff.
too much older, right?
Yeah.
It was too much of a celebrity coach when he went. Belitnikov,
No, that
As
was
in
my,
like the 49er? I mean, the Raider guy?
no, that
the
was
Raiders' son.
That was my senior year.
That was
Ah.
a senior year. It just
In the
got
beginning,
political.
It was just like no
Oh, the-
correlation at all from his staff to mine. It was totally different.
Oh, okay.
All three levels, so there wasn't really like
Well, you played for 3 coaches, didn't you?
yeah.
Froman, Riddle,
And
and Belitnikov.
And how did you do as a quarterback for them?
I played my first 3 years, but I was just kind of a little too small for the varsity level, so I kind of just had to switch, find something else I liked. So I stumbled upon corner. It's like, hey, this is fun.
Okay.
Give it a shot. But I was just late to the game, so
And so your brother, he had aspirations to kind of continue. You didn't like
Not
want
really.
to for sports and in college?
Yeah, I think just the fact that I knew like I didn't really have much of a future. I kind of just it was just something to do for fun, right? Like I already kind of had my mind set on what I would do after, and that's kind of when I started looking like EMS and fire and all that other stuff. You know.
So did you end up going to college for any of that stuff? Like at CSN, I think they have like
Yeah.
a program
Mhm.
or whatever.
Yeah, I went
Because it was over next to Green Valley High School, I think, or
Yep.
something.
Yeah.
As soon as I graduated, I started EMT school, and yeah, I went into the fire science program.
And explore.
Get the ball rolling.
Nice.
But we have video of this kid dribbling because he was a superstar point guard. If he would have kept it, he could have played well. Because he was our little point guard, and always my point guard. He had the hair, and every time he'd go to shoot, he'd go
Yeah,
like
that's
to
true.
push it back and then shoot it and make it.
Headband.
And I
Because
mean,
you had long hair.
long
I
haired.
had-
He
I
had
had
it to like
locks
the
for
small
sure.
of his back.
I was
Did anyone think you were a girl because of the
all
long
the
hair?
time. They wouldn't let me cut my hair either.
Yeah.
We used to go.
Who would?
Okay, why wouldn't we let you cut it though?
I don't even remember.
Your
Mom?
parents wouldn't, or
My
Mom?
wouldn't, yeah.
oh,
Where did we go? What high school? And who touched it?
Oh, that's right. so there I was. We were at one of Kevin's football camps. I'm still a little kid. I
Yeah,
don't-
he's
I don't
probably
really- I don't
5,
care.
6 years old.
You know, we're at a field. There's grass. There's football. Playing catch with my dad, and then there goes Mark Sanchez. You know, he went to the same high school, right?
That high school we were at.
Mission Viejo High School.
Mission
oh,
Viejo.
okay.
And he's freaking throwing the ball, tossing the ball. I could care less. I didn't even know who it was. But all these guys had like freaking googly eyes. over
Yeah.
them.
Especially
And,
Mom.
Yeah, come to find out, he was a superstar in college. Good and
Was he with the
Pretty good.
Jets at that
USC.
point? Oh.
Yeah, when he touched
I
his
think
hair,
it
he
was
was
the
at
time when he was
Jets.
around,
Oh.
like he was going to the playoffs.
Before
Oh,
the
okay.
butt
Yeah,
fumble.
Before.
Oh,
Before the
yeah.
butt fumble.
And I guess.
And he had longer hair.
Yeah,
No.
he had longer curly hair. I
Yeah,
think.
curly
Yeah.
hair, but not like his hair.
Oh.
No, not like that.
So he liked it and touched it.
Yeah, we took a picture, and I guess I don't really know. I guess he touched it.
Yeah,
and
'cause
I never
he's-
cut my hair for like 2 years after that.
And he's, Mexican, Mark Sanchez. My
Right.
wife was in love with the guy, so he touched his hair, played with it a little bit. She's like, we are never cutting his hair. And we did it for a long time.
And you know what? I have a signed football from him that I was not allowed to touch
Yep.
either.
Wow. Kind of like that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that ruined my whole weekend.
And I don't even know
Sounds
where it's
football I was
at.
playing with.
I hid it, and I
Yeah,
don't know
still
where
have
it's
it.
at.
Yeah, I still have it.
But you weren't into the Jets, weren't into him, nothing. You just they knew him, and you're like, all
was just-
right, go on.
I was what, maybe 5?
5.
I didn't care. I just wanted to throw the ball at my dad.
So how was it having him? So you coached in all the
All
sports
3.
until he got to high school. Then you
Mhm.
couldn't coach
Well,
anymore,
his brother coached him in flag. I was the head coach, but his brother was offensive coordinator, so he had him. But he was still, I still coached him like the conditioning and stuff. But offense, him and his brother clicked.
right? So how was
Nobody could stop us.
your dad coaching you?
Go ahead and say it.
I don't even like to think about it.
Was he tough or?
Yeah, that's an understatement. He was a dick.
Okay.
He was mean.
Hey,
Oh,
Jerry,
I'm
bleep
sorry,
that out,
I'm sorry.
Jerry.
No, we want to hear the real stuff, man.
He was mean.
Domingo sugarcoats it. Oh, it was great.
He got me in shape though.
Yeah.
I was always tip top shape, but it
But
sucked.
was he a jerk to everyone, or did you
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like he was more
Oh,
on you because you were his
you can
kid?
hear him from the next county over.
Okay.
We were practicing. It was just practice. Like on a Thursday,
So he did a lot of
Thursday
yelling.
afternoon, yeah.
But positive though. It was all positive
Oh, yeah,
reinforcement.
it was
just
constructive. He was never mean. Like
No.
it was never malicious.
like
but
you,
it was,
none of that. It was
Okay.
always like,
It was
don't
more
let
like-
him get around. Don't let him get behind Joe. Ethan, he's wide open.
it was motivating.
Like one time I was screaming at this kid. He's playing quarterback. And mind you, he was one of the best rollout quarterbacks we had seen for that level. We even had coaches come up to us and say, how does your kid do that? So he's rolling out, and Kevin has this clipboard on his head. Like, what is this kid doing? That's not the play. So I'm like screaming, but he sees his center, Thornton, coming across the field, which we didn't see him. Kevin and I didn't see him. So Thornton's going to like the corner. This guy releases it like 1 foot inbounds, the foot up by the sideline, throws it, touchdown. And we're like,
Oh, because you can throw it to everybody in flag, right?
yeah.
I was a playmaker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He can, if he rolls out, he could see the field. He just had a problem being in the pocket because he was tiny.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and Coronado doesn't do rollouts. It's more.
So what was harder, Kevin or him?
My dad was for sure. Kevin was never really. He wasn't that bad. Like he'd yell at me for sure. Like if I messed something up, but he was never really that bad.
No,
Kevin was pretty.
And what about
pretty mellow.
what about the parents, the other parents?
Oh, they're just kind of.
Did they were like, man, come on, you're getting favoritism because of
No,
Kevin and your dad?
They love this guy.
Oh.
Every last one of them loved him because it was never really like. There was never any favoritism or anything. Like, if you were good somewhere, he'd put you there. Like, I was just good at quarterback because my brother always coached me up, so that's where he stuck me. And other kids he had a way of like finding where people fit, put them there, coached them up, and made them like a solid ball player.
And they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, a lot of my friends who stuck with it and trained with this guy, like they went on to have pretty successursuccessful careers in like high school and even a couple college.
Nice.
So, he's def-
Are we ever
he's
going to
an
hear
awesome
you
coach, for
a
sure.
shout out at the Hall of Fame? I remember my coach Lucero. He was so good. No.
And then
Thanks, Kevin.
the one thing I remember, though, is I never missed a game, right? The only game I missed was this guy's because I had to go to Puerto Rico to help my buddy move his mom down. And this guy for like 3 months would not let me live it down because at the time it was basketball. So we had Coach Joe. He was no, he was the head coach, right? Yeah, but I mean that was the only game I ever missed, and it was his. Oh, you missed my game, but you didn't miss Kevin or Hemmons. Oh, you because he was small. Remember, he was a small little tiny guy. He's like, oh, you missed my game, but that's the only game I ever missed was his.
It's true.
And to this day, it still eats. I mean, which is why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, he never. I don't think he ever missed a game. No.
No,
What about
In his squad car with his big blue jacket. Still
the
has it.
same blue sweat
Yeah,
jacket.
all for all. Since first
you guys wore blue?
No, it's my own
It's
sweat
like
jacket.
Oh, the one covering your uniform.
yeah,
old
it's to
Nike.
cover.
Gotcha,
it.
gotcha.
Yeah, I kept it. I still have it.
He never wore any other jacket to my
Just
40
that
years.
one, because it's the only one that fit the gun belt, like to go around it.
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
zipper's gone now, so
Was it a Dodgers one? or-
no, it's just the
blue?
Nike,
Oh.
plain Nike one.
And what about school? You said he was a hit when you would do the class stuff. Bring your parent in day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What about you for school? Did you like school or?
was
I
never-
hated school,
yeah.
so.
I knew it was always something I had to do. It was just I just kind of did it good enough to where he wouldn't yell at me, and then that was it. Like I never really went above. Like my sister's super smart, and she always tried super hard, and I just
That's what they were
was
saying.
like, I'm gonna do good enough to where I will make this guy happy, get him off my back, and then I'll play my video games. Or do whatever I gotta
And
do.
by that time, the standard had lowered to a B. Like Kevin was all straight A's, demanded, and then Heaven, we didn't have to demand. She wanted A plus plus plus, and then this guy came around. I'm like, whoa, what is this C? That's enough to pass? I'm like, heck no. You better bring that up, or else you ain't playing football, basketball, or baseball. And baseball, he was really good too. He would pitch. He played.
I
catch.
just required a 3.0.
Nope. I said, B. Well, for him, yeah. The class, I mean, the teams, C. We did check their what is it? Not credit report cards.
He was doing a Doge back then, checking credit cards.
But I would check the report cards, make sure they did their, what is it, their chores or whatever and all that. So.
What about like prom, things like that? Did you?
I was never really into that type of stuff.
Neither was Kevin. You guys,
Yeah, I don't think I ever went to any of those.
because
Maybe homecoming, because football game.
yeah. Do you remember going to any of that or?
Yeah, but I don't remember. It was just kind of whatever.
It's a group thing now,
So
right?
you didn't have steady girlfriend. You weren't into, like Kevin said. Oh, it's football, no girls. They're distractions.
Yeah, not really. I just kind of skated by.
Okay.
Kind of flew under the radar. I just wanted to graduate. That was it.
But I made sure I became friends with all his teachers. To this day, I still talk to his
he does.
teachers.
It's weird.
All
I
of
don't
them.
get it, but he still talks to all.
Yeah,
of them.
we even got invited to Miss Raniata's retirement, and that's Kevin's third grade teacher.
Yeah. My second grade.
Dang.
His second grade and his third grade.
It's crazy.
You know,
It's
people
crazy.
think Vegas is like just this, 3 million people. It's huge, but stuff like that, it's still a small community.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah, but I made that a point. Like if he go on field trips, I'm going. Like,
So what did you? So speaking of that, what did when he would go on Phil? Did you want him, or were you like, Dad, I really would like you to not go this time?
No, I was always on board because everybody loved my dad already. So I was
Okay.
like, come on, let's go. Like I remember we used to go to SeaWorld. Went to SeaWorld. The wetlands was always
Catalina
fun.
Island. Oh, but
I
I didn't
never
go to
went.
that.
You guys went to Catalina?
I didn't go to
Oh.
His school, but he didn't. He went
Oh.
to Europe twice.
Mm.
I went to Europe.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
boy went to Europe twice.
I was always on board with him.
Oh, you could use that as one of your stories.
I was on the back.
How you almost got kidnapped by a bunch of freaking drug dealers and.
Oh, I do remember that.
And what about? Did he always carry off duty back then too, like he does now?
Oh yeah.
And you like he taught you guys like, hey, this is a gun, stuff like I never.
Yeah.
Like I said, my wife did daycare, so I could never really have the gun.
No, my dad had me.
That's one thing I regret was not like teaching them like how to use it and everything.
No, my dad had me a little sharpshooter when I was young.
What's it called? What's it called?
Huh?
What's it called?
Oh, my little chipmunk. It was a little 22
Uh,
single load bolt action.
rifle
It's
thingy.
Probably like that big.
But he loved
I
bolt
loved it.
action.
Yeah, he used to take me out and he'd unpack it, clean it up. He's like, all right, let's go. And he'd set up targets at whatever.
And would you guys just go? Because I know here you can go out kind of, into the desert or.
Sloan down
Well,
there.
we would go Sloan and Apex.
Yeah. So
But I
he's-
mean, he was always the youngest, right? He always the youngest. And we took teammates of his with us, Kevin, Heaven, all his cousins. And this kid was a sniper because we would put like a table with a bunch of potatoes on nails. Like you put the nail in a
Right.
potato. And him with this little chipmunk, he's like, ding, 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 and the other kids couldn't shoot. This kid, and even when I give him my rifle, like we would have exploding targets. He's probably the only one that at a distance will make the
Oh, yeah.
target
With
explode.
his ancient, nothing on it,
Yeah,
unmolested M16. Like
yeah, no,
I was, and my uncles and cousins and everything all had these super trick like
sights and
AR-15s,
all this stuff.
ACOGs, and I was always the first one. Hey, they used to make me go last because they knew I was gonna blow it up.
Yeah, but yeah, I made it a point to teach them how to shoot. And, Kevin really doesn't like it as much, but he was our handgun expert. You get a, 1911 type gun on his hand, and he can't miss. And Heaven's a good sharpshooter, and my wife, Rocio. Handgun, they're dangerous. He's the only one that
Your
kinda-
current.
Yeah.
wife?
Yeah, my current wife.
Did you hear about that?
I didn't.
Oh
hasn't
god,
seen
we'll
the
tell
early
you in
episodes.
between podcasts, man. Oh god, it's the running joke now. I get him every time too because he always says something that I just get the poop.
We actually just went shooting a week
Yeah,
ago.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he's going to take a CCW class, so
Yeah, I'm trying to get that figured out.
Yeah.
all you robbers out there, beware.
All right. Well, we're getting.
Are we getting close? We don't want to make
Yeah.
Jenny mad.
We're about that time for story time.
It's
And then we'll
story
get into the
time.
firefighting.
There you go.
Yeah.
But just because we're talking about school
Yeah.
and how you kind of since I hated school, I kind of struggled so I was in the academy. So in California, you could pay yourself to go through
Yeah, right.
what was called an extended academy, where you would go Tuesday, Thursday nights, and weekends for a year. And it was designed for people that had families that worked full time. So there was stuff I would learn in like March, April that I wouldn't get tested on till like October, November. And, and I failed, I don't know, I think like 6 tests throughout the year.
Yeah.
I think you could fail like 9 total or something, as long as you still had a 70, right? and pass it the second time. But did you because of that, when you got to the firefighter academy, academically, did you like struggle at all because you weren't like
It's
a
not.
school person, or
No,
was it
not-
mostly physical stuff?
It was. I was an explorer, right? And it's a dumbed down version of the academy for kids, right? It's an introduction for 16 and up. So it's all the same stuff, all the same book work. It's all the same workouts. It's all the same skills. It's everything. So I maybe read that book twice before I got in the academy.
So you would say that being an explorer helped you tremendously.
Immensely.
So if you hadn't have done that,
I might-
maybe you would have struggled.
At the pace that we were going, I would have struggled. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of my classes.
So good to know, if you ever think about being a firefighter, you should be an explorer
Oh, yeah,
first.
100%.
No,
absolutely
stay in
recommend it.
school and learn how to do all that. So that's the number one. So you can
What
take
school?
these tests. These tests are hard. These tests are difficult. Written
Right,
tests.
but he's also saying if you're doing the explorer, you're learning the stuff that you're gonna.
But I mean, don't skate.
Or do you mean college?
Don't skate by high school, then do explorer thinking that's going to prepare you.
Well, I think you should go in the military first.
Yes,
Then
I agree. I think everybody should do a 2 year.
because you just get a free house,
yeah.
man.
Not only that, you come out big.
Yeah.
Like I went in 127 pounds and I came out
300.
200 pounds.
My mom didn't let me.
Yeah.
Don't
I-
even get me started on my
I
wife
told
and
all three of them to
my
go so they
kids.
could get their college paid.
yeah.
But
All right, so this is coming down to the end of episode 1. We're gonna do. He's gonna do a story time.
Story time.
So it's whatever type of story you want to talk about, and then we close out after that. So, and
do your firefighter story in the second one. Do the Europe one, this one.
Europe one. Oh, okay.
you know
I-
what
I
he's talking
vaguely-
about.
yeah, I
He
know what
did
you're
that to
talking about.
Kevin too. Talk about this one.
No.
Kevin's like,
He said it. It took me a second. I remember exactly what he meant. But it's
They broke the rules.
oh, I want to hear this.
When you guys want to go eat McDonald's or whatever,
Okay,
and
yeah,
they try to
so-
sell you weed or
See, he's
so, I
he.
mean,
You should you tell it or him?
I remember. It's come back to me. It's come back to me. But yeah, so there I was. I mean, 7th, 8th grade. Obviously, my Bob Miller Middle School did this whole thing. If you were in the Spanish class, they did this whole trip to Europe, and it was awesome, right? I kind of wish I was a little bit older because there was a hot girl in my group, so I really didn't even care. Like I just focused on her, but it was still.
he did have an auntie with him.
Yeah, it was still. I did. Yeah, I was supervised. But it was still really awesome. So I remember, I think we were. I want to say it was Spain, and we were in like this huge, like almost like a courtyard, with a whole bunch of shops and stores and everything. And I'm a naive little kid, so my buddies are like, "Hey, we got some money. Let's go to McDonald's." So we get McDonald's. No, it was France. It's France because they had these little creme brulee things that were phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
Their desserts are
Yeah,
good.
that's what we got. And so I remember eating that, whatever, and we were trying to find our group. I don't think we had like an adult with us. So we were just kind of roaming around trying to find our chaperone. And we're just kind of standing on the corner, and this older dude just walks up to us, and I kind of forget what he looks like. If I remember correctly, he was like a scraggly looking dude. And then he
All
pulls-
French look like that.
Yeah, he pulls out a bag of joints. He's like, "Hey, like, yeah, obviously we're American, right?
Right.
We're little kids." He's like, "Hey, you guys want to buy these?" And we all just kind of looked at him. We looked at each other and we're like, "I don't know. Is this a good idea? Probably not." So yeah, we just kind of all just looked at him, and then we just walked away, and that was it. And
No, you bolted.
no,
you
he
did not
likes
walk.
He likes to.
I'm not embellishing that.
Now I want to know. You let your kids go on this trip without?
Well, they
See,
didn't
that
have
wouldn't,
they didn't have parent chaperones.
No.
It was all teacher chaperones. But we have.
And did they have enough if you were
Oh,
by
yeah.
yourself?
More than
yeah.
enough.
So where was the teacher letting you just go off by yourself?
I don't remember.
That's what I said. They broke the rules.
Oh.
They broke away from the group,
I don't remember what we were doing.
and they from the story he told us in the beginning. Because remember, the chaperone is a really good friend of
Right.
ours. I coached both of her kids in football, and she was a teacher,
That one-
Ms.
No,
Robertis.
that was the second trip. Mr. Burtis wasn't my chaperone for that one.
Who was Mr. Thompson? Was the first one?
No, it was some like it
He's
was
trying to get someone in trouble. Who was it?
it was like a husband of one of the teachers. Like he didn't even work.
Oh.
at the school.
But I mean, when you
And you had to think about it. You like when he looked at you, actually like thought about it for a second.
From what I remember, like I said, it was a long time ago.
Uh,
He was still
totally
young.
forgot about this till he brought it up.
Oh, okay.
So,
But I mean-
it's not my best story, but he really wanted me to tell it.
Yeah.
Man,
Okay, tell another story then. Get a good one then. I just because I remember you guys were with him and then you guys ran back to your group. And then the what's the safe word?
I don't know. We didn't even have one.
Yes, you guys did.
I don't remember.
See, exactly. Like the whole story was, I forgot what the safe word was, but they're like screaming the safe word or
Okay.
whatever.
I guess
don't
Domingo.
remember.
I guess
They-
Domingo can tell the story.
Because they're
Let's-
thinking.
Ne-
have you seen
the next time
Have
we're
you seen
on.
the movie Taken?
Yeah.
That would have been this guy.
I don't remember any of that.
Okay. Yeah, we tend to add to the story.
I didn't
Oh,
embellish
it's-
it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to the chaperones that I.
The first time it's uneventful, and then by the 10th time you tell a story.
You were
All right,
almost
so,
in the movie.
so do
Taken.
another story then, a firefighter.
No,
story.
no, we're good.
No,
That
do
was a
the
good
story.
story. He almost
Do
took
a good
weed.
one.
We're at 40 minutes.
40. Okay, we're done.
So,
Good story, son. I liked
Ah,
it.
you could have been better, but you.
well, you
closed
got
it
you
out.
got another shot at it.
Made me, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Watch the second episode, then you get a
Yeah.
better story. This guy made me tell a boring.
I didn't make you.
They did.
I said, why don't you?
Yeah, they saw it. They saw it.
Let's play it back. Play it back.
All
Jerry,
right.
play it back.
So again, like, share,
Subscribe
and watch.
and watch.
We always add that one because Domingo will not watch himself.
I can't see myself talk.
And also,
Can't either.
I'd like to see comments. We have some friends that do another podcast, and the other day on his podcast, this one's called Christian Men Unscripted. If you want to follow, it's Alan Underwood. He's an ex-cop as well. But I like they did an episode of where they talked about some of the comments that people wrote in. So if you have comments, I usually look back and there's not too many. But I'd love to have like some comments of either what you want us to talk about or what you want Domingo to mention, like how many people he killed,
or even
things
if you
like
have
that.
questions about him, Kevin, or
Yeah,
some of our
any
other
questions,
guests. Yeah.
anything,
We'll get an answer for
topics, stuff you like, don't like, if you like the political stuff or don't like it. So anything.
you. Be nice when you do that. My sister, Marty.
Yeah, write it in there, Marty. Marty?
Marty.
Marty. So, write it in there. Let us know what you want to see. And so, anyhow, until next, thank you, Ethan, for coming on.
Thank you, EJ.
And we'll have
See
you
you in
on
the next
another
episode.
episode. So, and until the next episode, be safe. Peace out.
Be safe. Take care.